Mm, mm, mm. Good. Let's go. I want to see it all. Let's get it all. Let's get it all. Wham. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. Yeah. Why does it seem closer? Why does it seem bigger or smaller? Oh, well. Anyway. Oh, well, I am in the building, y'all. Waiting on y'all. Try to see what y'all gonna do. La 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 la. Slow mode is off, by the way. You can chat your face off, say whatever you want to say, whatever you want to say it. Ooh. Oh, man, I have to pop back. Pop it. Mm. 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 Am I bleeding? Oh, no. Had to put on that bump stuff. Okay. Let's see where we at. Let's see where we at. Let's see where we at. Season finale live. Ray Smith, you are the first person in the building. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good with you, bro? Slow mode is off, so you can get on those keys and tickle them as much as you want, as often as you want. Hmm. Hmm. You know what? I was going to ask about that, Mr. Smith. You digging them? Okay. I will keep doing them because they ain't been getting the numbers or the traction that I hoped they would. So I was thinking about going a different direction with it rather than doing 3-story arcs. I was gonna pick out some of my just favorite stories, whether it took 1 issues or 2 issues, and just kind of sum that up. Or should I just keep the same format that I got and do 3-story arcs? Because 3-story arcs work. Hey, G, what's up, man? What's up? Let me clear my throat. Oh, by the way, G, mix it up. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that'll work. Because there's some days I want to do just like a certain story, and it might just like resolve in that same book. And then there's other times I want to do a story that's like one, and then another one, and it's two, and then there's three, and then there's other times when I would just like to do like a whole, like eventually, Mr. Smith, my goal with that, I'd eventually like to do Secret Wars, the original Secret Wars, just to show people, we got this stuff called Secret Wars that's out now. And I'm like, it's Secret Wars, but it ain't Secret Wars, Secret Wars. We talking about Secret Wars, Secret Wars. And I don't feel like everything has to be a catastrophic galactic universal thing. Why can't we just resolve a story and have like a quiet story or a street level story or or something that takes place on Earth type story? Well, gee, I wouldn't say Darkseid failed. He had it in his hand. The reason why it didn't work is because the the gems in a specific gauntlet work in that universe only. So if you got an Infinity Gauntlet from the 616 universe and you in the DC universe, no going to work. Yes, they may very well be doing Secret War with Kang, and if they do, that's going to be sad because that's an opportunity, a missed opportunity for Doctor Doom to come in just banging and shining and doing his thing. I don't know why they can't do Doctor Doom. Do they feel like maybe they feel like they failed enough times with Doctor Doom that they don't want to try Doctor Doom? No worries, bro. Edutainment is what I do. Anywho, um, gentlemen, I'm just having a snack, and it is stereotypical for people of our of our persuasion. Gee, I'm assuming you meant Doctor Doom instead of Doctor Doom. Um, Arguably, yes, Doctor Doom is the villain of all villains, at least in the Marvel universe. If we talking about who's a better villain, you're gonna be hard pressed to find an Earth level villain, and even some cosmic ones that can out villain Doctor Doom. Yo, D Steezel, what's good? What's good? What's good? Also, Doctor Doom and Kang have squared off, and Doctor Doom's gotten the best of Kang. So Doctor Doom and Magneto have squared off. You know what I'm saying? Doctor Doom is a whole problem for anybody. You talking about giving Batman prep time? She give Doctor Doom prep. We see what Doctor Doom does with prep time. Doctor Doom becomes a god with prep time. And it ain't the first time Doctor Doom's become a god. Doctor Doom is just that cat, man. He got hands and brains and gadgets for everybody. Everybody? Everybody. I can't name a character that at one point or another hasn't run afoul of Doctor Doom. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, um, individual heroes. I mean, there's even at one point, man, Doctor Doom and Daredevil had issues. So, like I said, everybody has run afoul of that what Ray Smith said. Dr. Doom not only has gadgets and technology and know-how, he is also a sorcerer. And it has been mentioned several times that Dr. Doom was once a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. Or his magic is good enough that he could be Sorcerer Supreme. So he's just that cat. When it comes to villains, I don't really see anybody I can put over him. I would say maybe Apocalypse. Other than that, I don't see nobody messing with him. Yeah, Jeffrey. I gotta tell you, I didn't love Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but I didn't hate it either. Look and hear me out. Look at it like this. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is not a good Marvel movie because they took liberties with things they shouldn't have and they said things that were inaccurate. And I'm going to talk about that in a second when we get enough folks up in here. But as movies go, beginning, middle, end, enough action where I didn't fall asleep. So I was good with that. I'm not saying that it goes on my list of all-time great Marvel movies. Hell no, by no stretch of the imagination. But it was better than Eternals. it was better than Shang-Chi. And that Illuminati got their butt kicked way too damn fast. Why? And this is a question I ask. Why are they just stepping up one by one? What was that about? I don't know. Yeah, D. Wanda was definitely the madness in the story. I was like, I thought at some point they was gonna be like, okay, Wanda ain't really the villain. She's being manipulated by somebody else. Come to find out, she was being manipulated by the Darkhold. So, yeah, a whole bad guy. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do with the most powerful character in the MCU? I know one thing for sure. Marvel sure has an obsession with killing off characters. That's for damn sure. They are just killing off everybody they can kill off, huh? Well, hope you Scarlet Witch fans ain't too pissed off about that. I know, Mr. Smith, saying it's better than Eternals ain't saying much, but it is saying something. And basically what all I'm saying is it wasn't too much better than Eternals. I mean, it was entertaining, but it wasn't like, yes, I gotta go run and tell everybody I can. It wasn't like that. You say more like the Illuminati. Yeah, they was the Illuminati for sure, because they folded like aluminum. Why couldn't they fight as a group? That was my question. Why couldn't they fight as a group? They'd had a much better. And then why in the hell did Captain Marvel announce what Black Bolt can do? We all know what Black Bolt can do. Shut up and just let him do it. He might have been able to do something to her. I'm pretty sure she'd have got caught off guard with a holler. I ain't saying it would have killed her, but I'm pretty sure that holler would have slowed her down long enough for maybe Mr. Fantastic and Captain Marvel to do something. Maybe Captain Carter throw her shield and cut his head off or her head off. I don't know. They wasn't going for blood, and that's why they got washed. Well, you got to bear in mind, D, that was what, the 836 Earth, the 838 Earth, Earth's Illuminati. There are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Illuminati left. Not to mention this. And that was another thing I had a problem with. Why are they calling the 199999 universe the 616 universe? See, that's going to confuse a bunch of people. I was already in some chat, in a conversation where some people was like, maybe there's two 616s. I didn't even reply because I knew if I'd have replied, I would have said something and it would have turned into one of them back and forth things. And I didn't want to do that. And then Chillmonger even did a video where he talks about this, where The 616 universe is a separate universe from the 199999 universe. So now you're going to have folks talking about, yeah, this is the 616 universe. So confusing, so chaotic. Yeah, introduce Reed and Black Bolt just to get murked in that universe. Why does Black Bolt's eyes turn red like he is using heat vision? Because he's in the because he's in the 838 universe, and that's how they do in the 838 universe, Jeffrey. That's the best explanation I can give you, bruh. That was not the 616 version of Black Bolt. And actually, if we go back to that Inhumans television series, the 616 version of Black Bolt sucks. Yeah, I agree with you there, D. Steezel. Marvel does see the MCU as 616 because this ain't the first time that the MCU has been referred to as the 616. Nate Moore said it in an interview. So what? The MCU is just going to take over rights to the 616, or is this person I saw in a comment thread, right? There are two 616s. See, that's lame. That's weak. That's lazy. That's lazy. All you had to do was have that woman say 199999. That's it. And if it's not a slip up, then I dread to think what it portends. And if they talking about trying to make the 616 cinematic universe the mainstream universe, my association with Marvel may come to an abrupt end, because no, you can't just dispense with the comic book universe. You can't dispense with the source. You see what I'm saying? You're just gonna tell Marvel Comics that y'all ain't even a part of our universe no more. We just gonna use y'all to draw material out, and then we ain't even gonna use the material the way it's supposed to be used or it's supposed to be depicted. I.e., a lot of the stuff that you are getting in phase 4. Phase 4, I mean, is it just, because I asked this question today, is it just me, or is this phase of Marvel movies subpar? I'll wait for an answer on that one. Severely lacking. I'll go with that. Excuse me. Subpar. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I have plans. I have plans, ladies and gentlemen. As many of you know, I was on vacation last week. Well, not really vacation. I went to visit my mother for Mother's Day. And while I was out of town, me and Theo had a nice long little chat. And yeah, please understand there will be some hard paint going in the days and weeks to come, because we have decided that it is foolish to wait for the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer to drop before we start dropping bombs on them. Nah, because I could pretty much tell you from this point, from 2020 to this point forward, Marvel and Disney have followed a script to the letter. And everything that has happened, I don't want to sound like Palpatine, but everything that has happened has done so according to their design. And I don't mean that in a good way. They are strategically getting rid of things that they don't like, and they are adding things that aren't necessary, and they're going to call all of that the 616. Yeah, yeah. When I saw Reed Richards get like turned into licorice, I was like, that was brief. But I had to keep reminding myself, different universe, different universe. We don't have a Reed Richards yet. And from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, it sounds like they're building up to that 2015 Secret Wars storyline where Dr. Doom gains God power and creates Battle World out of different worlds, but it ain't gonna be Dr. Doom doing it. It's gonna be Kang. See? That kind of stuff. Byron Smith, how you doing, sir? How you doing, sir? Glad that you could make it. Let's create. I have been creating when I get a chance to get to my what I'm creating segment, I will hit you up for sure. Yeah, everything that's pointing at Secret Wars, these Diesel, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Why are we going to have Secret Wars before we have Doctor Doom? That don't make no sense. Where they do that at? I don't know. But it's sad. It's sad what they doing out here. But this is what I'm telling y'all. And this is what's getting ready to happen. We have to lift our voices. It ain't and y'all take this any way y'all want to take it, but it ain't just on us, the content providers. What I mean, if it fails, it's on us, but the encouragement that we're trying to give and the encouragement that we've been trying to give is that our voices are louder together. If that don't mean nothing but coming into agreement with something that one of us content providers say, or complying with something that we're asking you to comply with, like for instance, I don't want to put it out here right away, but we gonna be doing something on a weekly, I'll say semi-weekly basis, where it's about recast T'Challa, and we're honoring Chadwick Boseman, and we're gonna make some noise on Twitter. I ain't gonna give you the specifics about it. Ain't time to put it out there yet, but for sure, we're gonna be making some noise on Twitter, and we're gonna be head to head with these anti-recasters, and we got plans to shut them down for once and for all. But we need to bolster our numbers to do so. Make sense? Okay. Y'all still on that Secret Wars. Okay, I give you time. I give you time to catch up. I give you time to catch up. I give you time to catch up. They'll make Kang the Conqueror and Doctor Doom villains. Well, technically, Doctor Doom's descendant, or Nathaniel Richards, and apparently they have some close relationship. I don't know how they're doing it these days, but Kang is a descendant of Doctor Doom or Reed Richards, depending on how you look at it. So there you go. But like I was saying about the recast thing, this is gonna be it's gonna be on us, the content providers, but it's gonna be, on y'all, the content followers, to assist. I ain't gonna say help. Isn't help assistance? Isn't assistance help? Support. There you go. Support in small ways, not asking you to give your firstborn or to sell your car or to do a GoFundMe, nothing like that. Something that you can do, something that is within the realm of your abilities to do, if that makes sense. Doom versus Kang would be dope, but Doom would beat him because Doom has time travel capability as well that he came up with all on his own. He didn't need nobody to figure it out for him. So, yes, indeed, he's swift and speedy. But prepare y'all. This is the clarion call. Hey, that rhymed. That should be a song. Prepare y'all. This is the clarion call. What? Oh, wow. I had no idea, B. Okay. You would love to create a Chadwick Boseman biopic. That would definitely honor Chadwick Boseman. For sure. Am I up for fan films? Yes. Yes, I am up for fan films, Byron. Definitely. It would just be a matter, like was I talking to you the other day? I was telling you that I'm trying. Oh, maybe it was Theo I was telling. I'm trying to get me a camera guy because the one guy that I got to do camera work for me, he's kind of been in demand a little bit. And when cats is in demand, then they feeling saucy and they want to raise their prices and shit. And I'm like, bruh, you are not George Lucas. You know what I'm saying? You are not. Wasn't that Anton Fuqua? You ain't him. Why are you raising your prices like you done arrived already? You know what I'm saying? And I give the brother steady work. You know what I mean? He used to film my improv shows and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, now all of a sudden you want to ask for these astronomical amounts of money. And I'm just like, bruh, deuces. Go over there and charge them ridiculous amounts of money. I ain't feeling it. Oh yeah. You gonna be my Onyx Tiger, V. You gonna be my Onyx Tiger. You'll be my Onyx Tiger, man. You got to be. You know what I'm saying? I want to put that out there like that. And get a book going too. Because I got content. At least my artist is acting right, kind of. I can get some guys to draw some stuff up for me like that. But they get caught up in their own life, and sometimes we forget about it. But I got so many things, irons on the fire right now, man. It's like I gotta slow down, focus, and go, one at a time. You know what I'm saying? Some fans actually think the Fantastic Four will be black folks just because MCU Kang is black and he's a 30th century descendant, not a modern day. Exactly. And then on top of that, I don't want the Fantastic Four to be black. Stop black facing and womanizing things that don't need to be black faced and womanized. It don't make no sense to me. Why we want to make the Fantastic Four black? You see how it worked when you made just one of them black. That movie was Terrible. And Ben Graham walking around butt naked. Stop it. That's what Fox do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, B, that's where I'm at with it. But you trust me, you are on my list. You are on my list. Ray Smith said Marvel is too woke. Yeah, all of them are trying to be too woke in trying to not get canceled by the LGBTQ community. They are overcompensating and making every damn thing about LGBTQ. I mean, that's not right either. To not include them, that is wrong. But to make everything about them is wrong too. There got to be a middle ground. Y'all can't just go ham and go crazy and, oh, everybody's a lesbian, everybody's gay, everybody, because clearly everybody is not. And everybody wants to see themselves represented on screen, whether that be your sexual identity, your color, your particular hero you want to see depicted. Not even the right way. I just want to see my hero depicted. You know what I'm saying? Can I get that love? Say, did anyone like the Bill Bixby Marvel Universe with the return of the Incredible Hulk and the trial of the Hulk and death of the Hulk? I also like 77 Spider-Man series and Captain America 1990. I didn't like that 1990 Captain America. And I'm going to tell you why. That's that taking that liberty shit that just irks me. When was the Red Skull Italian? That Red Skull was Italian. Captain America's costume was comic book accurate, but he had fake ears on. How hard would it have been for that man to stick his ears through some ear holes? Oh, they couldn't have hooked that up. They couldn't have made that happen. Well, I think that ain't safe anyway. That's not a good thing to have on a mask and have your ears hanging out. That's a good way to get your ears chopped off, actually. The trial of the Incredible Hulk. I like John Rhys Davies as the Kingpin. He was not a good Kingpin for me. Comic book accurate, yeah, at least shave your head off, bro. It would have worked if he shaved his head off. He didn't shave his head off and had a full goatee and mustache. You say you know way better than to like it now. That's okay. I used to like that 1977 Captain America with the incorrect costume, the helmet, and the motorcycle. Yeah. And the see-through shield. Yeah, I got over that. Because I watched it again. Not even as an adult. Maybe as an adult. Maybe like in my 20s, I watched it and I was like, click. This some bullshit. It's basically how I felt about it. Yeah, Red Skull is not Italian. Me and Mr. Smith know this. How hard would it have been to make him a Nazi? And how hard would it have been in a modern day age to just make him a member of the Aryan nation or a skinhead or somebody like that? It would have worked. There are people in this modern day and age that still love Nazi tropes and Nazi things. So that wouldn't have been a stretch. But they worried about offending somebody? You shout Nazis. Boo. Yeah, the one with Connie Selica. I liked Connie Selica. Connie Selica was that chick in the 70s. Her and Aaron Gray from Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. Woo, them uniforms was tight on her. I didn't like in the second season though when they made her wear that waitress uniform. And they was trying to be too Star Trekky in the second season, Buck Rogers. Do we remember? Hey, Grand Madam, I see you down there. How you doing, Miss Lady? Yes, I remember the 90s Fantastic Four film that never got released. But interesting fact, that horrible 1994 Fantastic Four movie is way closer to being comic book accurate than any of the subsequent ones. Yeah, they only did, you're right, Mr. Smith. They only did it to keep the rights, but they did it better. You know what I'm saying? Sleepwalker was supposed to be in Doctor Strange 2. Who told you that, Mr. Jeffrey? Who told you Sleepwalker was supposed to be in Doctor Strange 2? Just because they had an action figure in the Doctor Strange line don't mean Sleepwalker was supposed to be in it. I think that was just a clever idea because in Doctor Strange, they was like, dream walking. We doing dream walking. Okay, so if people are dream walking, oh, I know what we can do for the toy line. Let's put Sleepwalker in there. So that's just my thought on it, because if they were really trying to put Sleepwalker in the movie, it wouldn't have been hard to do. They took Iron Man out. Yeah, everybody glad to see you could make it, Grand Madam. We are all overjoyed and happy that you have graced us with your presence, Madam. All right. Okay. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, keep this statement in mind. If they don't recast, we boycott. And I'm going to tell you what boycotting is going to consist of for me. Marvel Comics have been slowly getting blah. Yeah, I don't believe I'm saying this, but that Black Panther run by John Ridley right now, I ain't liking it no more. I'm just not. I don't like the direction it's going in. I don't like how they treating T'Challa in that comic book. So first, that's me. I'm cutting that off. Second, I'm cutting off Disney Plus. Third, I ain't watching no more Marvel movies. Period. If they don't want to give us what we want, I am not giving them one red penny of my money. As much as I love watching those movies, as much as I love reading those comic books, I gotta be true to who and what I am. If I see those movies, oh, I guarantee you, I ain't paying a nickel for them. I ain't paying nothing for them. If somebody want to pay my way outside of my household and go see the movie, all right. I ain't giving them none of my money though. I'm not supporting them. You know what I'm saying? Not financially, not fiscally. I'm not supporting nothing they do. If they can't do a simple thing like recast because they showing love and respect to everything and everybody else except T'Challa. Well, Hulk's getting done pretty dirty. They just decided they was gonna kill off Scarlet Witch. Hooray! How Vision gonna feel about that when he find out? Vision ain't gonna feel nothing. Anyway, want a Dark Hawk film or series and Deathlock. Then definitely boycott. Terrell said, for me, I'm not going to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever in theaters, Disney, or DVD. I know that's right, bro. I mean, I have no reason to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If somebody say they want me to go see it for free and not pay no money, You know what I'm saying? But still, even with that one, I feel some kind of way about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel some kind of way about it, like they just slighting the greatest black superhero ever. You slighting him. You just like F him. We don't care nothing about him. We don't want to see him. We don't have nothing to do with him. And we made that decision in minutes. Well, it ain't even gonna take me minutes to say F your movie. It took me seconds after what you said. A good Cloak and Dagger film too. They should have been in Infinity War. And you want to see Man Thing. Okay, there actually was a Cloak and Dagger. Yo, you said a good Cloak and Dagger series. Got it. That Cloak and Dagger series on Freeform. Hated it. It was terrible. Again, folks take too many liberties with source material and it just destroys the whole feel of the entire project. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel some kind. Even if somebody was like, "Do you want to go see? I pay your way." I strongly feel like, if I felt like there was some chance, or maybe like a week or two after, and somebody tells me, "Oh, there was a T'Challa in it. He was only in there in the end scene credit for like 2 seconds." I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till the end scene credit is online and watch it then. Because that's how I feel. I don't want to give them no kind of love or attention or nothing because they are ignoring the hell out of us. They act like we don't exist. Yeah, somebody did say Dark Hawk and Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger, I was telling about the Cloak and Dagger on Freeform that sucked ass. Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to make a better Cloak and Dagger at all. Candyman could. Oh, you talking about Yahya Abdul Mateen? Cloak and Dagger's cool. Tyrone and Tandy. Yeah. How you gonna explain that? Okay. Well, the same way they did in the series, they got their powers from an experimental drug, much the same way in the comic. But that's the only thing that's similar to the comic. Yeah. I couldn't even finish watching it, D. It was just hot garbage. Yeah, I couldn't even finish watching it, man. I think I got like 4 episodes in, 5 episodes in. I'm like, this is not the Cloak and Dagger I am used to seeing at all. And that's the kind of thing I mean. You could have a good Cloak and Dagger movie without all of these cosmic ramifications. Cloak and Dagger are interesting enough characters to be in a solo film project on their own and it not be bad. I think of a bunch of characters, man. I would love to see a good Daredevil movie with Charlie Cox. I believe he's a great Daredevil. We don't need to add nothing to make a Daredevil movie great. John Bernthal is great as Frank Castle. We need a Punisher movie with John Bernthal as the Punisher. That would be a great movie. Of those Netflix street level hero series, I rank them Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. That Defenders crap, get out of here with that. That was hot trash. I don't even and Iron Fist, I didn't even care for it. Exactly. We ain't even yeah. Well, technically, ain't it the Dark Force dimension, D? I hear you, Grand Madam. Yeah, that it was like watching paint dry. Yeah, D. There's a big difference between the Dark Force dimension and the Dark dimension. Real quick, Dark dimension, clear. Another question I had about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. In the comics, Clea is the niece of Dormammu. So you telling me that big old dimensional being that we saw in the first Doctor Strange movie, what he do? Smalled himself down and met somebody in the dark dimension, and you know what I'm saying? Who? How did he get like that? Or was he always like that? And how is he and Clea related if he's the whole dimension? But explain. They're gonna have to explain that to me. Marvel did a cartoon with the Punisher and Nick Fury and Shield and Black Widow and Hawkeye. It was pretty good. Yeah, I saw it. It was kind of done in an anime style. And some of those Marvel projects that are anime, they kind of hit good, but some of them other projects, it was just like, Blade. I enjoyed that animated Blade. That was good because they added another aspect because he was using like kind of like almost like Demon Slayer. I don't know if y'all ever seen Demon Slayer where he's, he uses the water and the earth and all that. It was like he would use incantations when he was using his sword and do like really cool stuff with it. That was a cool movie or series. I did not care for that Iron Man anime series. I really didn't. It seemed like they was trying to like force it on us. The X-Men anime was cool. I liked that one. The Wolverine one, even though they got what's the guy's name that does Wolverine's voice? Does a good Wolverine voice. I can't remember the name, but he's a voice actor and he does a really good Wolverine voice. And they got him, but Wolverine had that androgynous anime look. You can't make Wolverine look androgynous. Yeah, the Marvel anime. Yeah, it was. And I even like the Avengers one. They went off the rails with it, but that Avengers anime was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it anyway. I mean, they added the little kids in there, just so you can have that anime aspect of it. But for the most part, that was pretty dope. And they dug into, like the mythos of Marvel and they pulled some of they classic villains out and they battled. Why can't the MCU do that? You don't have to follow the plot exactly, but what that character is and what that character does, stick with that. But when I think about it, they've been going off the rails cinematically since day one. Blade and X-Men were my favorites. Wolverine was cool, but I didn't like that he looked like Hugh Jackman. He didn't look like Hugh Jackman. He looked like an androgynous person with handlebar mustache, handlebar with the sideburns. That looked jacked like Hugh Jackman. No pun intended. Yeah, they've done they did a much better job. I dug that X-Men anime, especially Storm. Man, they gave her let me stop. Let me stop. Anyway, I'm still mad Infinity wasn't a 3-part trilogy like the comics, and it was lacking a lot of characters, and I hate Spider-Man's Iron Man costume. Well, Jeffrey, it was lacking a whole heck of a lot more than that. They crammed Infinity and Infinity Gauntlet together and made it like one big ass thing. And it would have worked so much better if they would have just went with one or the other, not try to mash both of them together and cram aspects of each in there, because it didn't work, to say the least. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, D. I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah, Storm more so than Emma Frost because, see, I'm gonna stop, y'all. Y'all about to get me in trouble. I'm not gonna say anything crazy, but yeah, let's just use the adjective bouncy. Very, very bouncy. Reminded me of Soul Caliber. What's her name? Ivy? That one right there. That's what I'm talking about. Uh Need to see Spider-Man anime, but Wolverine in the X-Men. Yeah, Wolverine in the X-Men anime. If they had a did Wolverine in his Wolverine anime like they did in the X-Men anime, we'd have been straight. But no, we had to make him all girly looking. Do I think Marvel is going to bring in the men going the ultimate route? No. No, I do not. Because what they're about to do is they're going to ruin what they have built. They're going to tear their own Tower of Babel down. God ain't going to have to do it for them because they don't understand what they had. They just don't. And now they feel as though they can throw anything at us as consumers and we just going to eat it up like a bowl of Captain Crunch. Nah, especially not those of us who are looking for it to be a little more similar to the comics than it is now. It's a comic-based movie. Feel free to draw all your source material from the comic book. Duh. I I'm kind of on the fence with Ultimate Fantastic Four. Um, I think the way Ultimate Fantastic Four was done was to herald using that same thing in a Fantastic Four movie because Falcon in the MCU draws a lot of stuff from Ultimate Falcon rather than Sam Wilson in the 616. Too bad Marvel couldn't make Marvel Studios separate and make their own films. Oh, gee, that would be so awesome. That would be great. I really wish they could do something like that. Imagine one big film studio just making Marvel films only. Oh, okay. I was thinking too deep into it. Grand Madam said the MCU acts like they want to make quick money fast. They don't care about longevity by sustaining viewers. Yeah, I think that Marvel and Disney do not respect their fans. I maybe at one point they did, but with this phase 4 stuff, to me it does not look like they respect their fans. It's actually like the exact opposite. Um Disney needs the same thing. DC needs the same thing. Get away from WB. Well, they were just recently purchased. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Reed became the maker. Hulk was a cannibal. Wanda and Pietro were incest twins. D, that might have been a little more fun to watch. Evil Reed Richards and an incestuous Pietro and Wanda. And a Cannibal Hulk, that'd be way better than nerfing him and making him into a punk. They don't put much. And I tell you another thing that the Ultimate line was big on, just like the MCU, the Ultimate didn't have no problem killing off people. Didn't have no problem murdering people. That's probably why they did away with the whole 1610 universe, because half the people in that universe was dead. You know what I'm saying? They killed them all off. The Blob ate the Wasp. Wolverine got broke down to his very last compound. Bunch of people, but Spider-Man, that's why Miles Morales ended up taking over as Spider-Man. Spider-Man got killed, you know what I'm saying? And then he came back, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, man, in Ultimate Universe. Yeah, that Ultimatum event, they might as well have just called that Merkham. That event should have been called Merkham, Kill 'em All, as what that would have been a better name for it, Kill 'em All, because Muzz was dying left and right. I'm like, y'all gonna have anybody left to make a comic book about? And then they were just like, guess what? We doing away with the whole universe. Deuces. They don't care because they already have MCU fans, and MCU fans are different from Marvel Comics fans. Marvel Comics fans will never get the true stories in the MCU. Facts. Yeah, you don't have to be worthy. You can just pick up Thor's hammer in the 1610. But then I noticed too, they gave him a different hammer. Originally, he had that hammer slash pointy axe end thing. It was like a hammer and an axe sort of thing he had that he was working with. And then eventually he ended up getting like a hammer, and it had like a long handle. Yeah. I mean, I would say probably I liked the Sinister Six story in the Ultimate line. I like that story because they made the Sinister Six seem like they were a lot more powerful than they were. The Sinister Six was taking on the Avengers. I was like, damn, the Sinister Six is gangster like that, you know, and was handling them. You know what I mean? I like the Ultimates. The stories were kind of in your face, and you know, Cap was doing Wasp, and Pimp slapped Henry Pym. it was a whole different thing. You know, the dynamic between the Avengers was very different. Yeah, the death of Peter Parker was good. I did indeed like it. Y'all have to excuse me. I'm kind of snacking, having me some fresh fruit, because I am really trying to be more healthy. More healthy. Notice I said more healthy. What else is on you maniacs' minds? What are y'all thinking about? What are y'all wanting to know about? Ask D-Real. I'm not an oracle, though. Bear that in mind. Oh, well, I got all of y'all on here. Mr. Smith told me that he enjoys the recommended reading stories, the 3-issue story arcs that I do. Do y'all like that? These Diesel said, what's the 411 on that Onyx Tiger? Well, I am going to submit an idea for the visuals to my resident artist, and I'm going to have him draw me a mock-up, I already have his origin in place. I already have all of that stuff done. When I get all of that done, matter of fact, maybe, because Byron is wanting to do like a fan film, maybe we could do a fan film that's like an origin story for Onyx Tiger. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, y'all comment more, because some days I come through there and it'll be like 4 views and no comments. I'm like, they don't like it. I was really hoping they would. So yeah, if y'all dig it, man, comment on it more and tell me, give me suggestions if it's something y'all want to see. I got access to literally hundreds of thousands of stories. So if there's something in particular y'all want to see, more along the lines of vintage stuff, I would say like the 2000s and back, maybe like 2010 and back. You know what I'm saying? As far as the 2010s, man, a lot of stuff, and it's just because Marvel doesn't have it digitally. Okay. Those old comic issue recaps are dope. Okay, all right. Okay, y'all feeling them. Y'all feeling them. All right. If y'all feeling, if you digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket in the form of a comment, in the form of a like. And I know y'all already subscribed. And share. Share it. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Instagram. Well, I share it on Instagram and Twitter. So, but you can share it too, because y'all got different networks of people than I have. So the goal is to get everybody vibing on it. Oh, Mr. Smith, I know you digging it. I'm just saying, I just want to make sure it ain't just you reading them. He said 2010 isn't vintage, Grand Madam, but in terms of comics, if you talk about a comic that was made back in 2010, the average comic book reader is going to say, that's old for a comic, if that makes sense. Say if somebody's slacking, it ain't me. I know, D. I know. I'm just I gotta know what works and what doesn't work so that I can do more of what works and less of what doesn't. And if I hear it from y'all directly, that tells me, oh, I know for a fact. I know for a fact. Man, some of the best comics came out during that time. But there are some stories, man, that I could put y'all on to. And Mr. Smith will probably be able to tell you. It's some stories in the 60s. Some of them might seem corny. But it's some really good stories in the 60s that took place, especially Spider-Man. Spider-Man has some good stuff in the 60s because he was Marvel's flagship character, or it still is Marvel's flagship character. And so there was a lot of good stories, man. And that John Romita art, everything. Everything. My two favorite Spider-Man artists are John Romita and Ross Andru. A lot of people didn't like how Ross Andru drew Spider-Man because he drew Spider-Man more when Spider-Man was in the costume. He was more buff. And then as Peter Parker, he was like a little, small fella. And it's like, how you get buff when he puts his suit on? And a lot of people didn't like that. And so they wasn't feeling Ross Andru like a lot of people were. But yeah. Hobie Brown. I remember that. It was a two-part story arc. Yes, I remember that. Um, man, if I could get hold of some old Image comics digitally, oh, I could show y'all some stuff. Um, Shadowhawk, what else? Blood Strike, Supreme, um, of course, Wildcat, Cyberforce, Wetworks. I wish that book would have lasted a little longer than it did because Wetworks was a pretty cool concept. Yep, Abe Brown's brother. How come Abe Brown didn't tell his brother, you better not do nothing? I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna kick your butt. His brother was a son of the tiger. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, Stormwatch. Yeah, I liked the way it works. I even hang on. Still got my Wet Works vampire. Look at that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wet Works was all that. And a bag of chips. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that was a great time. I mean, they printed more comics than we actually needed to read, and that's why a lot of comics in the 90s aren't as valuable as say comics in the 80s, 70s, and 60s because they printed like 100,000 of them. High demand, low inventory drives the price up. High demand, high inventory don't do nothing. So the ceiling just kind of caved in the 90s during, the big comics boom. They was booming too hard. Wall Street contributors did Wall Street speculators did contribute. You right. But at the same time, bruh, they had gatefold covers. They had foil covers. They had monochromatic covers. They were whoring comics out in the 90s. The one great thing that came out of the 90s that I did love, Wizard. How many of y'all used to read Wizard? Come on. Where my Wizard people at? I used to buy Wizard faithfully. Man, every month I was on some Wizard, boy. Because they had good stories and good, art in it, because they get artists to like draw the covers or draw the inside. Alex Ross did a lot of Wizard covers. Jim Silvestri did a lot of Wizard covers. It was a lot of not Jim Silvestri. Is it Jim Silvestri? Jim Silvestri? Yeah, Jim Silvestri and Jim Valentino. Yeah. Wizard tried to come in with a pricing guide, but ain't nobody bumping Overstreet, man. Mark Silvestri. There you go. Mark Silvestri. Yeah, he did a lot of Wizard covers too. It was, those were great times. Those were simpler times. Times you didn't, and all I was doing was working, going to Kenpo classes and reading comic books. That was the 90s for me. Pretty much what I did. Yes, I remember cross-gen comics, but I wasn't that into cross-gen. I was into Gen 13. I had a crush on Fairchild. She was one of my comic book crushes. Oh my goodness. Hmm. I will have to look into that. I will have to look into that. I wish it was too, because I used to own the first 110, 15, 100, first 110, 115 issues of Spawn. And they were all in mint condition. I had them all boarded and bagged, and I sold them on eBay. I could just kick myself in the testicles for that one. Boy. Yes, Caitlin was a big girl. Sinclair the Wolf. How is it going, Mr. Sinclair the Wolf? It is going well. We are talking all we just kind of walking down memory lane right now, talking about the 90s and Wizard magazine and Image Comics and Gen 13 and all that kind of stuff. Danger Girl, you know, the 90s was also the era of the femme fatale and the scantily clad person, Ariella, Battle Nun, um, Lady Death, Purgatory, Fathom, and even to a certain degree, Psylocke. You know what I'm saying? It was the 90s was the era of the scantily clad superhero. Witchblade, they was all basically half naked. Say, how did you miss all them comics? Say you was too busy. Hey, I was raising kids too, Grand Madam, but I found time to I had that was my escape. So I didn't go crazy and choke one of them out or toss them out a window or something. Jim Lee, yeah, Jim Lee did. Jim Lee did. Jim Lee did. Jim Lee was the man when he did X-Men. They were he blew them up. That's ain't X-Men #1? Ain't that still the best selling? Ain't that still the best selling comic all time? You remember Witchblade and Rogue? Yeah, Rogue got a little scantily clad. I think like in like issue 273, 274, when she was in the Savage Land with Magneto, and that's when they started feeling each other, if you know what I mean. Yep. 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 I remember that, boy. I was like, whoa. Because I still have it though. The X-Men #1, the gatefold cover that's got the blue and gold team on it and Magneto. Yeah, I had that one. The rise of the variant cover. That was the 90s too. Because prior to the 90s, you ain't seen a variant cover. They didn't do that in the 70s. They didn't do that in the 80s. You didn't have variant covers. The X-Men game on Genesis. I remember that one. But I preferred the Konami version, Sinclair, the one that had Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Dazzler, I believe it was. I like that. It was cool. I liked it. I liked the Genesis game, but I didn't get that far with it. You know what I mean? I did better on the Spider-Man game on Genesis, that original Spider-Man game. Yeah, that arcade joint when you hit when you when you hit that power button and and Colossus be like, "Whoa, whoa." Yeah. I remember that game vividly. Dropped a few dozen quarters off in that mug. Mm. Yep, that's the one, Sinclair. Wendigo. Nothing can stop the blob. Yep, that game, yeah. I spent a lot of time on that game, man. I heard they like ported it to a game system, and you can't you purchase it on PlayStation Network? Yeah, Captain America and the Avengers. I remember it. It was Vision, Iron Man, and Captain America and Hawkeye. Yeah, they were fighting the Red Skull. See, the Red Skull can carry a video game, but the Red Skull can't carry a movie. I always think about all the wasted opportunity, they wasted in the MCU not making the Red Skull come back. Can you imagine how dope the Red Skull could have been if he had came back? Alexander Pierce could have been the Red Skull in disguise. I'm sorry. I just think good plots. Oh, you made the point. He said white vision. You white vision. I don't think any of us ever beat the Red Skull, Sinclair. Back in the day, man, bosses was way harder. Yeah. If I played with somebody, I could beat the Red Skull. But if just me by myself, ain't happening. Never is as good as the arcade version. Never, ever is. Good times, good times. We are here reminiscing about the 90s. Wow. There were a lot more comic book stores here in Alaska in the 90s, too. There's a comic book store downtown. Of course, there's the main comic book store that's still here. Then there was another comic book store at Eagle River. It's a comic book store out in the valley. Man, it was comic books everywhere. Thank you, Wonder Man. That reminds me of that terrible Avengers TV show. Avengers assemble. Knit, knit, knit. Why did the Avengers need armor? Why did they have armor that came out? Everybody had some armor, had an armor suit they put on. And I'm like, they're the Avengers. Why do they need armor? Even the Scarlet Witch. Like, why I got armor? I agree. Grand Madam, Red Skull would be an excellent villain for a movie. And Hugo Weaving did an amazing job. And then Ross Marquand did an amazing job of aping Hugo Weaving's Red Skull in Endgame. So we could get Ross Marquand to do the Red Skull. Yes, Avengers United They Stand, I think is what it was called. Yeah, terrible. Terrible, terrible. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like them both. I ain't gonna front. Y'all, as I'm looking at my wooden watch, yes, my watch is wooden. I don't know if y'all could tell while I was on my arm, but there, see, that's wood. That's actually, you know what I'm saying? Yep, I liked Hugo too, Grand Madam. Hugo is a great actor. Did you know he suffers from a seizure disorder? Has epilepsy. That's interesting. but he's still able to be an actor. So, see, you can do whatever you want to do. You put your mind to it. Yes, it's very crazy how Marvel did Red Skull, turned him into a gatekeeper. Yep. They even have it in his as one of the facts about him in his IMDb entry. So yeah, that is a whole thing. Yeah. Because he got tired of putting his friends at risk and telling them to stand in for him when he couldn't be in the armor. There was one time Happy Hogan put on the Iron Man armor in the comics. A bunch of people don't wore Iron Man's armor. So yeah, absolutely. Yes, there are meds for epilepsy, but even when you take medication for epilepsy, that is not a 100% guarantee that you will not have a seizure. And by no fault of your own, you can expose yourself to things like lights and certain smells and things that can trigger seizures. So, yeah, you're never really 100% free of it. I work with a lot of people on my caseload who have seizure disorders, and yeah, they'll have like a great month, and then one day, boom, just have a petite or a grand mal or something like that out of nowhere. Is what it is. Sin would have been cool. Sin would have been cool. Sin would have been cool. Yeah, yeah. That they could, even if they'd have done that Fear Itself storyline, that would have been cool too. But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't like going at epic storylines, because if you use an epic storyline, just like we seen, and they did Endgame, that's what we're going to expect. When are these folks, Marvel and DC, making comic book movies, going to figure out we need to put a team of villains in our universe? Because you got a team of heroes. When is somebody going to figure out, hey, we need to get some villains together? That seems like what they're going to be doing over at Sony. They trying to put a Sinister Six together using all of them, and that's why they making all of those villains over there, because they're trying to do their own thing over there, which I ain't mad at them about, but they just don't do it well. More Marvel gameplay content is coming to Sinclair the Wolf's channel. Y'all need to check Sinclair the Wolf out when he's doing his thing. I'm gonna pump you up, homie. Go to his page, man. I mean, if you ain't into video games, then you probably won't enjoy it. But if you like video games, and my man, he be on there watching folks, man. He be putting foot to ass in a major way. I'm like, dang. His favorite Tekken characters are Bruce Irvin and Eddie Gordo. I tell people all the time, it's hard to be good with Eddie Gordo without button mashing. If you ain't button mashing Eddie Gordo, you are a beast indeed. You, sir, know your Tekken. Yeah, in order to do an Acts of Vengeance storyline, you need to keep some damn villains alive to seek vengeance. Ain't be no Acts of Vengeance because all them fools is dead. Can't get no vengeance. If we had some of these folks alive, man, when we gonna get a Lethal Legion or a Masters of Evil, or since they like killing off all the villains, why don't we have a Legion of the Unliving? What y'all know about the Legion of the Unliving? There have been two versions of the Legion of the Unliving. The first version was brought together by Kang, and he pulled them out of the time stream and formed them up to be a group to take on the Avengers. The second legion of the unliving was formed by the Grandmaster, and the Grandmaster formed them where each time the Avengers fought and lost, those Avengers became part of the Legion of the Unliving. Tell me that wouldn't be a dope storyline. Multiverse of Madness's Illuminati was disappointing because they weren't our Illuminati. Our Illuminati might have did a little better against Wanda, especially if you know how to deal with her. How'd you get washed if you knew what you had to do? Justice League, yeah, they teased the Legion of Doom. Yeah, see, they had the right idea, and that might have been the one that have put them over the top, but they just didn't follow up with it. That would have been a great idea. Would have been a great movie. I think it would have been any movie with the Legion of Doom, and it would have been fantastico. I'd watch it because I grew up watching the Legion of Doom. I love that Black Manta voice. That Black Manta voice was dope with the reverb on it. I like that. I like that. Look here, y'all. It is an hour and 26 minutes in. And do y'all want to keep going? Do y'all want to keep going? My screen didn't freeze up. I was waiting for y'all. Oh goodness. Okay. I think I can give y'all about another good 15, 20. Again, it's like I've been telling y'all. Marvel has been janky from phase one. Jeffrey just gave a perfect example. Where's the leader? Because we saw Samuel Stearns get that stuff dripped on his head, and his head started bubbling and growing. So we knew he was becoming a leader. His head just bubbled and grew, and he smiled, and that was the end. Why do we not see that storyline? Why we didn't pick that up somewhere? Why we didn't get a leader? Just like my man said. And that terrible job with Taskmaster, man, I wanted to cry. I'm like, y'all made him into this? Boo. Double boo. They could have just left that Black Widow, that whole thing alone, because that ship sailed. It didn't get to drop when it was supposed to drop. It was supposed to drop way earlier than it did. But we didn't get it when we were supposed to get it. And so it didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then back here, I don't know if y'all can see that. That is a copy. It's a print of the cover of Captain America and the Falcon 171. That is the issue where Falcon gets his wings. Now, how much cooler would that movie have been? Captain America and the Winter Soldier is of what I speak. If they had introduced Wakanda in the mix sooner. Taskmaster, in his debut in the comics, took on the Avengers solo and lived to tell about it and didn't do no jail time. And just to let you know what kind of squad he was going up against, Iron Man, Captain America, Wonder Man, Yellow Jacket, Wasp, Ant-Man, Ms. Marvel, the Carol Danvers Ms. Marvel. That ain't no group to be sneezed at for somebody who just got the ability to duplicate skills. Yeah, it would have been very cool to see Wakanda in Captain America and the Winter Soldier, lending him some kind of help or giving him a costume so he didn't have to steal from the museum. So there you go. Heard a rumor one of the reasons they changed Taskmaster is to avoid giving George Perez any royalties. But the Taskmaster is his creation, and they made it look like the Taskmaster looks in the, at least for the most part, like Taskmaster looks in the comics. They shouldn't even call them Taskmaster then, because that's George Perez's name. That's some bull crap. Yeah, I have played with Taskmaster in Contest of Champions. I think he's nerfed in Contest of Champions. He's got cool attacks, but nothing. He should have some kind of ability where after a little while of fighting you, he should be able to do what you do. Just a thought. Well, technically, Jeffrey, we got Beta Ray Bill. We got Beta Ray Bill's head in Thor Ragnarok. I don't know why I'm caping for him. You're right. We didn't even get Beta Ray Bill. What's up with that? Give me a second here. Boom. Taskmaster did have a hood. Taskmaster just happened to have a hood and a helmet. We need to see Balder the Brave. What happened to him? Didn't see him now one time throughout the Thor movies. Yes, Mr. Smith, I do remember that. You ain't got a Red Hulk yet, Mr. Lane. Besides Thor and Loki, none of those Asgardian characters got any real love. Nah, they didn't. They really didn't, because Sif is way more of a warrior than they made her out to be, and we didn't really get to see her flex either. And I think that gal that played Sif would have made a better Wonder Woman than Gal Gadot. Wanda killed Beta Ray Bill? Jeffrey, I don't think Taskmaster was whacked because it was a woman. I think Taskmaster was whacked because it was not a man. And it was not Tony Masters, if we being specific. That was what I had a problem with, not the fact that it was a woman, but the fact that it should have been a man, if that makes sense. Wanda killed Balder the Brave. Yeah, we got the Executioner, but no Enchantress, because they kind of incorporated elements of the Enchantress somewhere else, and we didn't really get no Amora. And then on top of that, the Executioner was whack. I'm like, how Scourge just being, how you gonna relegate him to the role of a fool? I mean, he was a henchman, I give him that, but at least he was a formidable henchman. I don't know, man. They just sometime, man, sometime they do things and they do not understand what they do. You know, it's like they done turned somebody loose at Marvel and somebody just reaching into a hat and pulling out ideas and they like, yeah, let's do this. Should they have introduced Iron Fist and Shang-Chi? No. They should have did a better Iron Fist. Is what they should have did. Shang-Chi and Iron Fist have two entirely different origin stories. Iron Fist went and lived in another dimension for 15 years and learned an extraterrestrial martial art as well as gained the Iron Fist. Tell that story the correct way, that's a good movie. Due to Denai Guerrero, Nate Moore, and Martin Freeman's statements, I share E-Man's sentiment as far as being nervous about the movie and not actually wanting to see it. Yeah, but I bet you E-Man go see it though, because that's his cheddar cheese. He needs to make that money to feed the fam bam. So he gonna be in there. I get the skinny from him. That Sylvie character was lame in Loki. Comic book Sylvie was a regular human granted enchantress like powers. Yes. 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 She was. I I don't know what my whole thought process is this. If you're going to take liberties with source material, if you're going to take liberty with characters, make it cooler than it was in the comic. Don't make it lamer, you know what I'm saying? And stop nerfing characters. You know, they nerf the hell out of characters and then OP other ones. It's like, I mean, I get Wanda's powerful. Wanda is even in the comics, but Wanda is just a regular human being. You could punch her in the back of her head when she ain't thinking about it. You could throw a shield and knock her out. Why is she this all powerful, unstoppable thing? You know what I'm saying? You can't even get a punch in on her. Yes, Mr. Jeffrey, I have often been told that. I have friends who call me specifically to ask me comic book based questions. So yeah, you are very accurate in your statement. Yeah, I'm with you, D. Already, I'm with you already. I already know. Yeah, they just it's like they just take characters and put them where they feel like they want to put them. Damn, if it makes sense. Huh. Okay. Cool. Ooh, okay, y'all. It's 7 o'clock. Well, 7 o'clock my time. I don't know what time it is, your time. But this snack ain't holding me, and I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go on the hunt. I gotta go find some grub nickels, y'all. But check it out, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out, hanging in there, and rocking with me for this extra time. But if I can help it, I will try not to miss any more lives unless something happens. And keep my mama in your prayers is what I ask. I don't want to get no specifics, but just keep her in your prayers, or ask the ancestors to look down on her, or whatever it is that you prescribe to from a spiritual aspect. Keep that energy. I will be coming at y'all with another one of these other ones, and I am glad y'all are digging what a brother's shoveling. Y'all be good. Be good to each other. Peace out, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. Or check out the videos. I got more videos coming. Of course I do. It's what I do. All right. Holla.